Right now at 6, calls to delay the upcoming age requirement for kindergarten. We'll tell you more on the reasons why.
Fighting crime one plate at a time. That's what lawmakers say license plate readers in a dozen communities across the state are doing. What they want to do to expand the reader.
Prosecutors have called their last witness to the stand in the Michelle Trones trial. It was Jennifer Dulos' mother. We'll tell you what we're learning about what Trones' attorneys asked the judge for after that testimony.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock, good Thursday morning. Thanks so much for starting yours off here with us, America Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Let's get right over to Matt Scott so you can plan your day. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Sorry,
sir.
I have a little trouble here with the button. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Ready and ready.
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk about a forecast that's got some tiny changes. A tiny tweak to the temperatures is what we're calling it today. A little bit upwards, that is. Got some precip on the way. It is rain mostly, maybe a little mix. Just a little bit, not a worry there. And in the weekend forecast, starts cold, ends quite mild. You'll see that coming up. Satellite radar picture shows you what's on the way. Got a little rain mainly over Pittsburgh, PA, over into Cleveland in the Ohio Valley. On the leading edge, if you look at the higher elevations, that's the Alleghenies right there, moving up into Altoona State College. So as you go up higher in elevation, a little bit of a mix, and that's what we may be seeing later on. 25 in Hartford, 30 in New Haven, 27 in Groton is not bad. Here's 7:30 to 9. You'll see what I'm talking about. It is mostly wet, but we'll watch for a slick spot or two up in the higher elevations. Most of your rain coming in tomorrow gets out of the way long before the weekend. 23 now. We hit the low to mid 40s later on as we add the clouds. The rain doesn't come till long after dinner tonight. We'll talk about that weekend forecast, how low the numbers are going to start to be at the first part of the weekend. That's coming up. Apparently, not only are my buttons not right, Symphony, but I've got to speak better. We'll get some coffee in me, and I'll be all good for the next hit.
You have hours to go to get it back on track.
It's an endurance thing, right?
All right, thank you, Matt. Now, if you're just waking up and you're heading out the door, excuse me, here's what you need to know. We are watching a crash out in Bethany this morning. Now, this is on the Litchfield Turnpike right now. That area is closed due to a one-vehicle crash out there, so expect some delays in that area. Taking a quick look along the shoreline this morning in Bridgeport. Good morning to those of you out there. Quick look at the drive times in Fairfield County. No delays reported on 95 or Route 15, so it should be smooth sailing for you so far in the 6 o'clock hour. Your next update coming up at 6:30.
Symphony, thanks so much. All right, 6:03 right now. The Michelle Trones trial is now in its 7th week, and the defense lawyers are now in the spotlight.
Yeah, the prosecution rested its case after hearing testimony from Jennifer Dulos' mother. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin joins us here in the studio with a look at the defense strategy. Brooke.
Well, Tim and Erica, the first thing Trones' attorney tried to do was get that case thrown out. That was on the grounds that prosecutors did not present evidence to support a conviction. The judge dismissed that motion. Now Trones' attorney is questioning people who knew her and Fotis Dulos, all in an effort to show that she had nothing to do with Jennifer's disappearance. Trones, as you know, is charged with conspiracy to commit murder and other crimes. She was dating Fotis Dulos at the time when Jennifer disappeared in May of 2019. Prosecutors spent weeks building their case, playing police interviews and getting testimony from forensics experts. Their final witness, Jennifer's mother, Gloria Farber. She was at times emotional as she talked about how her family's life has been turned upside down. Defense witnesses then took the stand, testifying about their interactions with Trones and Fotis Dulos just a day before Jennifer disappeared. One of them is the owner of a ski club that Jennifer and Fotis often visited. He described the week that she went missing as a horror.
The state police come in with dogs and they search the place with dogs, and then they put a boat in the water and they go over the whole pond with a boat looking for a body. It was awful.
And the defense is expected to continue that questioning today as the case wraps up in the next couple of days. Now, once that happens, prosecutors and the defense will give closing arguments, and then it's up to the jury and the judge to decide Troconis' fate. Now, Connecticut's news station will have coverage of the Troconis trial on Fox 61 Plus. We'll also have a recap of the trial on Fox 61 on air and online. Back to you.
Thank you. Well, a man accused of killing his grandmother on Christmas Day is expected to be arraigned today. Anthony Jones has been charged with murdering 83-year-old Diana Jones. Bristol police said they found her dead inside the bedroom of her home on Morningside Drive West after they got a report of a robbery there.
Jury selection is underway right now in the trial of the state trooper Brian North. Police say that he shot and killed 19-year-old Mubarak Soleimane in January of 2020. According to police, Soleimane stole a car and then led officers on a high-speed chase on I-91 before crashing in West Haven. That's where North fired 7 shots into the driver's side window at close range. North told investigators that he fired because Soleimane had a knife. Inspector General Robert Devlin, whose office investigates all uses of deadly force by police, said that the shooting was not justified. Soleimane's family spoke outside the courthouse yesterday.
It's been what you could imagine it to be. We're just glad that the trial is near and approaching, and want justice in some.
Once the trial actually starts, the evidence, then we will be speaking again.
North is on paid administrative duty with his police powers suspended. Sanford police officer Zachary Lockwood appeared in court to face charges in connection with a crash that killed Reverend Tommy Jackson. Investigators say Lockwood hit Jackson with his cruiser on Wire Mill Road last July. Lockwood was responding to a call at the time. He was reportedly driving 20 miles an hour over the speed limit when he hit Jackson. Lockwood is out on bond. New this morning, parents and school officials are speaking out at the Capitol complex this morning, asking the legislature to delay the new enrollment requirements for kindergarten.
Yeah, starting this summer, the age cutoff is going to change, which for many parents will delay their children from kindergarten for an extra year. Now, Fox 61's Lindsay Kane joins us now. Lindsay, what's the big push here for delaying this?
Hi, good morning. Well, those who want to delay this say it's pretty simple. Parents need more time to plan for this change because now they have to arrange for childcare for an additional year. Starting this July, a new state law requires children to turn 5 years old by September 1st to enroll in kindergarten. The previous rule allowed children to start kindergarten if they turn 5 by December 31st of that school year. This morning, parents, teachers, and legislators are speaking out on the impacts this law would have for families across the state. The Connecticut Office of Early Childhood and the State Department of Education estimates this rule would impact more than 9,000 students who would have been able to start kindergarten next school year, who will now have to wait an additional year. About half of these students come from low-income families who will not be able to afford another year of childcare costs. That's why opponents to this law are asking for a 1-year delay to the law. So instead of the eligibility rule kicking in this summer, they're asking for the summer of 2025. They're also asking the legislature for at least $50 million more to be put towards childcare in our state to help with affordability and availability of childcare programs. This has been a hot topic across the state. While many parents and educators are against this change, there are many who are in support. Some teachers say kindergarten curriculum right now is too advanced for students who are only 4 years old.
We've created a situation where we have really high expectations of these 4-year-olds, and it creates a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. If the students can't perform at those levels, can't execute those skills, they really end up feeling kind of overwhelmed by kindergarten, as opposed to it being a joyful, playful, wonderful baseline for what their educational experience will be.
Again, opponents to this law are speaking out at the Legislative Office building this morning. That's set for 9:30. So we'll continue to keep you updated, of course, on air, online, and on Fox 61 Plus. Tim and Erica, we'll send things back over to you.
All right, Lindsay, thanks so much. Well, there appears to be a push at the Capitol to install more license plate readers all across the state.
Yeah, more than a dozen police departments in Connecticut already have them and say they work. but they're expensive. So lawmakers are considering offering grants to help some departments defray the costs. Now, State Representative Greg Howard said it's important to know how the readers work and what they're capable of.
These license plate readers are fed what they call a hot list. So if you have an Amber Alert and there's a vehicle, that vehicle will be put into the hot list. And if that particular vehicle drives past an LPR, be it mounted on a police vehicle or be it stationary somewhere, we'll alert police officers in the area that that car is in that area so they can potentially stop that car and recover that child.
Officers can also use the readers to track stolen vehicles. In fact, back in November, Southington police said they were able to track down a stolen vehicle and arrest 2 men after getting an alert from the plate reader.